Hi, I'm the Reasonable Keeper, and this video is going to be a collection of 5 different comps that I've gone to since the last video, focusing on PRs and other highlights. I also wanted to announce that I'll be going to Worlds this year in Seattle, wearing this Team Canada jacket with Reezy on the back. So if you see me, you can come up and say hi or whatever. The first competition we're looking at is a big one, the Canadian Prairie Championship 2024. And the first event we're looking at is Megaminx. My previous PR average was 1 minute and 14 seconds, and you can see these first 3 solves weren't even below that. Not bad. I even had a corner twist on the 3rd solve here that messed up my CO. Corner twist. Damn. I was wondering why my corner orientation wasn't working. With accounting 116, how do I get below a 114 average? With 2 really good solves. Damn. Damn. What the? Those last 2 solves were PB3 and PB2, respectively, so that worked out really well and gave me a PR average by over 3 seconds. So that was pretty good. And the next one is 3 blind. And keep in mind, I have a history of no blind means on my profile at all for 3 blind, 4 blind, and 5 blind. And by the way, those last 2 are going to come up later in the next comp, so we'll see those then. But now, this is just 3 blind. Let's have a look. Two pretty good successes down, and this was the only round of 3 blind at this comp, so just 1 shot here to get a mean. Can I clutch it? Finally! After over 2 years of trying and 15 failed means, I finally did it. And that mean was actually pretty dang good for me, and it places me at NR 23. I also got 3rd place in the comp, which I'm really happy with, and I got this sick bronze medal to go along with it. Look at that. Next, we're not looking at a whole average, but just one particular solve in 4x4.
Hold on, the timer's not on.
It is, don't worry.
Well, then this thing is not working.
That's fine.
I can just hit the timer.
Yep. Apparently, the timer display wasn't working, but the timer itself was. And even after explaining that to my judge, they continued talking to me, and all I'm thinking is, just let me solve, please. Despite the distractions, I carried on and got a really good time anyway. I could have asked for an extra, but it was the fastest solve of my average, so I wanted to keep it. But without the distractions, it probably would have been even faster. I mean, maybe even a PR single, so I'm going to make this into a PSA for all you judges out there. Don't talk to the competitor during their solve, nor do anything distracting. In this case, the judge didn't see that the timer was running, so I kind of understand that. Like, they weren't just talking for fun. But as a nifty tip if you're a judge in a similar situation, the stack mat timers used in comps have this flashing light when they're running, so you should be able to look for that and quietly understand that everything's fine without distracting the competitor, or if it isn't actually running, then, you know, that's when you stop them. All right, with that out of the way, let's move on to some 6x6. Nothing insane happened, I just got 3 pretty good solves, which I'm showing the best one here. My previous PR was 2 minutes and 12 seconds, but I improved it by over 4 seconds here. This mean also places me at NR 39. All right, next up we're looking at the first round of 3x3, and let me just say, oh my god, this round was crazy. Let's just look at the first solve.
Oh my god, let's go. Nice! Let's go! What? Oh my god, let's go! My goodness. Oh, no way.
Yo. What you just saw was an X cross and a PLL skip into my first official sub 7 single. And by quite a bit too. I mean, 6.23 is even sub Mitch. You know that guy with 2 6.25 singles? I'm really happy with that. And also, the other voice you heard at the end of the video and the person whose hand I shook was Leif, aka CubeWiz. And we'd kind of been racing each other to get a 6 first, so I technically beat him. But that's not the last you'll hear of him.
That's fine.
So that was Leif again, whispering he got a 6 on the second solve. So we both had 6s. Now the only question was who's gonna get the better average? Let's have a look at the rest of my solves. You can see this big block on yellow, and even though I'm normally white cross only, I wanted to use that to make an X cross. It didn't turn out too well though.
Okay, fair enough.
So far, accounting 8.62, which isn't better than my PR average of 8.41. That average, by the way, you can watch happen over here. But now we still have 2 solves to go.
Let's go. Oh my god, it's counting. I think that's PR. God, let's go.
2 counting mid-7s brought that average to sub 8, which is insane. A PR by almost half a second. As for Leif, well, he got an even better average, and you can watch that on his channel, CubeWiz, over there. In fact, if you look at the results, a lot of people did super good here, and the reason is that every scramble was actually insane. I'll put the scrambles in the description so you can have a look for yourself, but I'm also going to reconstruct the 6.23 that I got. We have this red cross edge here, and right next to it is the green one, where if you insert this, the pair that's right here is just going to get moved up. I also saw that when you solve orange, this blue and orange edge is going to be solved, and the corresponding corner is attached to the blue cross edge. So to make an X cross with this, I inserted green, moved orange, moved this block out of the way, put orange in, move the block back up, D prime, and you have an X cross with blue and orange. And then I went straight into this pair with back left sexy moves. I then saw this blue and red piece, did the pair like that. I rotated, solved this pair with a sledge to orient some edges, a U2, fat left anti-soon, and a PLL skip, U as AUF. So that was a 39 move solution in 6.3 TPS. Pretty lucky. So that single puts me at NR 48, and the sub 8 average I got puts me at NR 51, both of which I'm very happy with. All right, moving on from that amazing round of 3x3, let's look at a tragic round of 2x2. I've been chasing a sub 3 average and a sub 2 single for a while, and it almost happened. So that was a good start, and you can see the second scramble has a lot of blocks. It was so good, I actually inspected my CLL, and...
No, is that a +2?
Yeah.
Damn it! That'd be my first sub 2, man.
I +2'd out of my first one, and that's not even the worst of it, because look at the rest of the solves.
Still good. Yeah, that's the counting 3. Ah. Yeah, okay. Well, that's... I got him, Ben.
So to add insult to injury, you know, I didn't get a sub 2 single, nor did I get a sub 3 average, and then I got by Ben on camera. This stupid fucking shoulder tap thing that I somehow always fall for that people keep doing at comps. Ugh. And by the way, Ben wanted this shout out for a long time, so I'm giving it to him, but I'm gonna make him regret it. His name is Benjamin Reagan, he looks like this, he's really short, also responds to the name of Arms, and he's going to Worlds as well. So I'm recruiting anyone and everyone going to Worlds. If you see him, get revenge on my behalf by tapping him on the shoulder and running away. Obviously, don't do it if he's competing, you know, don't be unreasonable and distract him, but he brought this upon himself. I advise you to check your groups for Worlds, and if you see Benjamin Reagan in there, opportunity. Ben, I hope you're happy. Now you'll always be on high alert and looking over your shoulder, just hopefully the right one. Anyway, the full effect of that +2 I got is that my average would have been 2.60 without it, but that's not the reality we live in, so oh well. So the final event of this comp that we're looking at is Clock. And in my last video is when I first used 7 simul, and I got a sub 5 single, which was good, but not a great average. So let's see how I do here. Check it. Is it good? Yeah. Yes. Check it, please. Look at the other side. Is it good? Oh. Check it, please.
Okay.
Is it good?
Yep, it's good.
Okay.
Those are my life savings. $1 million.
Check it, please. It's good?
Oh, never mind. Good job, Zaro.
Let's go. Boom! PR single and average. It was very shaky, but still very solid, and I'm very happy with how I did. And I got first place in Clock at the comp, so I got a gold medal too. Look at these things. Hey. So that was a great comp overall. I'm really happy with my performance, and it was really fun. Probably one of my favorite comps I've been to so far. Okay, for the next competition, I just want to show you how I did in Clock. The comp was FMC and what Calgary 2024. Let me just show you the solves. Check it, please. Is it good?
Wow.
Let's go. Check it.
Oh.
I don't know about that one.
Oh.
Dang, okay, yeah, fair enough. It didn't feel good. Ready.
Okay. Whenever you're ready.
Alright, check. Good. Okay. Check it.
Okay.
Good. So I DNF'd the third solve, but it was the worst time anyway, so it didn't even matter. And boom, PR single and average again. The 4.22 single puts me at NR 15, and the 5.18 average puts me at NR 13. Both very good. I also placed first for Clock in this comp, and for FMC as well, but I don't have footage of those solves, so that's 2 more gold medals to my profile. Anyway, that's all for this comp, let's move on to the next one. Okay, now the next comp we're looking at is No Peeking Blind and N by N Calgary 2025. It had all of the blind events, and like I mentioned earlier, I had none of the blind means on my profile, except I got the 3 blind mean at the Prairie Championship, so now my goal for this comp was to get at least one of the big blind means, or both if everything went right. We'll see if that happens though. By the way, all of the solves from here on out were filmed with the help of this cute little tripod that my brother 3D printed, so no more of the leaning my phone against a 7x7. Alright, the first event we're looking at is 4 blind, and there was only 1 round of it, so 1 shot at a mean. Let's have a look. So yeah, I DNF'd the first solve, so no chance at a mean already, but maybe I could get a nice single. You can see here that I had a green and blue center swapped, and that's the only thing off on this solve, which was otherwise really good. I mean, my PR single was 9 minutes, and this solve ended sub 8 and just slightly off. 2 DNFs, so I just had one shot for a single success now. I forgot to put up my harmonica holder after putting on my blindfold, and then later I remembered to put it up, but then it fell back down, so I had to waste a whole 10 seconds of fixing it. Despite that setback, it was a good success. A new PR single that puts me at NR17, and I got second place at the comp. Now we're moving on to 5 blind, the big boy. Last time I competed in 5 blind, I DNF'd a mean by only one solve that was 5 pieces off, and this is what I had to say.
I can't wait until the next blind comp where I swear I'm getting a 5 blind mean. Mark my words.
Still to this point, there was only Elliot that had a 5 blind mean in Canada, and I was determined to join him. Here's how it went. Boom! First solve successfully done, and done 2 minutes faster than my previous PR. Solve 2, here we go. Boom, another success. Oh, wait. I didn't show you the full clip, did I? Editor easy, let it play.
Bruh.
So yeah, I DNF'd that solve by 2 hecking pieces, and I was so grumbled about that. But there's a third 5-line attempt to go. Let's see that. Unfortunately, my phone ran out of space or something, because I don't have the end of the solve, but it was another success. Another 1.5 minute improvement with a single that puts me at NR13. But that means that I DNF'd the mean by 2 pieces. Last time it was 5 pieces, this time 2, so I guess that's improvement. But it didn't uphold my promise, and I was so gutted that I've come so close to 5 blind means twice now. But in better news, my buddy Danny, he actually did it. The second Canadian to ever get a 5 blind mean, and this was his reaction to it. So I'm really happy for him, and that also makes him the first Albertan to complete his profile, which is really cool. Keeping with the positivity, my best success was faster than Danny's, and we were the only 2 people to get 5 blind successes at this comp, so I won 5 blind. Now, before more solves, I want to make another PSA for the judges out there. Roll the clip. Here, the judge put the cover in front of the camera, so I had to move it. This is something that happens decently often, and it's bad. Don't do that. If you're the judge, you should take the cover off and put it in front of you, out of the way, and not in front of the mat. Even if you don't see the competitor filming themselves, they might have a parent or a friend on the other side of the table, and having the cover in the way is just annoying. Anyway, that's the last of my PSAs for today, I promise. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. Alright, next let's look at some 4x4, a very interesting round. So on the first solve, I got this +2.
Oh no.
But now we're looking at the best solve. This average was quite good, simply because I hardly got any parodies, just 2 in the whole average. So it was PR by a bit, but if I hadn't +2 the first one, it would have been sub 36, but oh well. So that was the second round of 4x4, and nothing great happened in the final, but I just want to show you this bit for fun.
8 seconds.
There's no way.
Okay, now we're looking at 5x5. Nothing crazy, but just some really good solves, which you're looking at the best one right now. This average beat my previous PR by over 2 seconds, and it places me at NR51. I'm still chasing a sub 1 minute 5x5 single. Even unofficially, I don't have one, but this single here was just 105. I also want to say I did a bit of a silly on 7x7. Look at my second solve.
That's funny.
I don't know how I did the wrong PLL, but yeah, I DNF'd that mess. Finally, for this comp, we have multi-blind. At my last comp, I got a PR of 6 points by getting 7 out of 8, but this time I attempted 9 cubes. I used 36 minutes for memo, then started on the 3-blind cube. Exactly like last time, I messed it up off the rip. But let's see how the other ones go. I got the rest correct. So 8 out of 9 cubes solved is 7 points, which is PR by just 1 point, and that puts me at NR23. I also got second place at the comp, so a nice silver medal. And that concluded that comp, which I think might be the comp I've had the most podiums in, because I had bronze for 4x4, 6x6, 3-blind, silver for 4-blind and multi-blind, and gold for 5-blind. Next comp, Battle of Alberta 2025, and there's just a few silly things to talk about here. For example, this 3x3 solve. So I popped, but then when I stopped the timer,
Oh wait, what the heck?
it had reset, so I got an extra. That has got to be one of the luckiest scenarios to get an extra in, because otherwise that would have been a horrible time to keep in the average. Moving on, I wanted to share one thing that I've learned, and that is that I am great at messing up easy pure scrams. Pretty good scramble here, just 2 tips plus a 9-move solution. I go for it and somehow do B moves. Believe it or not, I've done something even worse before. There's a YouTube short you can watch here where I messed up a 7-mover. I just cannot get a good Pyrrha single no matter what, apparently. Speaking of Pyrrha, there was also an unofficial event at this comp, Master Pyrrha. You're looking at the best solve here, a 39. I got a 45-second average and placed second of the 5 people that competed.
Bro, you're shaking so much.
I quite like doing most unofficial events, but anyway, I didn't do great in this comp, so let's just move right along to the next one and the final one of this video, Out in the Country Crossfield 2025. And the first thing we're looking at is some silly squan business.
Oh, I didn't have parity. Dang it. I gave myself parity.
Following up that mess, this is an actually good solve.
Nice.
And then another weird thing happened. I should say that I have my squan with white top and black bottom, the correct way, and that's important because I solved it that way, but the color scheme wasn't right.
Oh, wait a sec. This isn't my square one.
somehow, I guess the scramblers got my cube swapped with Danny's, who is the same guy who got the 5 blind mean earlier. And for some reason, Danny has his cube with black top and white bottom, which is obviously the incorrect color scheme. I'm kidding, of course, but this does look better though, doesn't it? I mean, come on. Anyway, now let's look at 2x2. And at this point, I knew full CLL and was confident in my ability to use it, and I just wanted a sub 3 average or sub 2 single like at the start of the video. So let's see how that went.
Nice. Nice.
I had inspected CLL on 2 of the solves, so that was good, but the fumble on solve 4 might have cost me the sub 3 average. It was still a PR average by just a little bit, but I'm still left chasing those 2x2 goals. Maybe I'll have a shot at achieving them at Worlds though, who knows. Lastly, we're looking at OH, and before that, I want to mention that my PRs coming into this round were a 13 single and a 15 average. Now let's look at those solves.
Nice.
When you're ready.
I'm ready.
So after those first 3 solves, there's a counting 16, so it's not looking too great for the average, unless the last 2 solves are really good.
Getting as fast as I get. I'm not very good.
Nice. Nice.
So both of those last 2 solves beat my previous PR single, and that made for a really good PR average. So both single and average were improved by about a second, and that average puts me at NR 33. I also got second place in OH at the comp, which is really nice. Speaking of podiums, I also got first place in 3 blind with a 1 minute and 12 second single, so that's pretty sweet. And that concludes the comps that I wanted to talk about today. I've been to 35 total at this point, and I've had 14 bronze medals, 10 silver, and 10 gold. Thank you for watching this long video. That's all for me today, and I'll see you at Worlds. Bye-bye!